Yo, good morning, Action Takers Nation. And today I want to share my impressions from history. I'm reading, listening actually to the Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. Fascinating book, and I think it's a really powerful lesson in a lot about how the world works. So now I'm in the 30s basically, when Hitler has consolidated power over Germany, and he's starting to build it up both internally and externally. His invasion of the Rhine has already been described, and I think a very powerful point there is how he keeps on acting aggressively and breaking the Versailles Peace Treaty and international treaties, and while he does that, he speaks of peace. Like the first thing he spoke about in the Reichstag after walking into the Rhine with the armed forces and taking over it was how he wants peace and everything, but he just broke the peace accord. And the funny thing is, he had a very small military power there, 3 battalions. France had like 100 divisions on the other side of the demilitarized zone, but they took no action. Like the government wanted to take action, but the armed forces didn't feel like it, and they ran to Britain to back them up, but Britain was like, no, whatever. And it's just, I think, a very powerful lesson of how you need to look at people not only about what they say. You know, you like hearing these words, like Hitler spoke these sweet words of peace, but also what they're doing. And the fact is, he was very, very aggressive in building up military Germany, a militarized Germany, building up the military power and taking over neighbors. And, I think there's parallels from today about different groups speaking the words of peace but acting aggressively. I think there's a good example of that of the extreme left in the States now, for instance, that they talk about peace and rights and everything, but the fact is that they violently break up other people's right to speak. When somebody comes to speak at a university that they don't like, they burn down stuff at the university, they beat up people. I think that's a great example of what are people doing. What are people doing? Not just how they're preening and pretending to be something, but what are their actual actions? Are they actually patient and listening to other people and taking actions towards peacefulness, or are they acting violently and just pretentiously coloring their violence and aggression in sweet words? So I think that's an important lesson. And another important lesson is that you have to stand in front of malevolence. When the Germans invaded the Rhine, France was more than capable to absolutely crush them. It was like a non-issue for them, and the Germans were shitting their pants about France actually walking in. All the generals felt that Hitler was crazy, essentially, and that France would just stamp them out, and they had evacuation instructions ready. They were ready to turn tail, but France never moved a muscle. And that's very, very important. If you don't stand up to bullies, if you don't stand up to what is right when they're aggressive, you don't set those boundaries, then you just set up the stage for much worse aggression and violence. So those are my thoughts. That's what's up, Action Takers Nation. If you find these videos useful or helpful, please share them. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Focus, guys. Take right action. Keep on growing. Have an awesome, awesome day.